Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday, April the 14th, 2020, for NICC's Transfer Visit Day. Blessed to be joined by Jennifer Wood and also Bailey Hemingway. My name is Josh, as I said. I'm an admissions rep at NICC. I work out of our Kelmer campus, and I'm really excited to give this presentation to you guys today. In lieu of being able to spend time with you on campus. So Caitlin Bailey or Jennifer, any words you want to say before we begin the presentation?
I just want to say thanks for tuning in, guys, and we look forward to spending the next hour with you.
Yeah, glad everybody's here.
Awesome. So as the slides says, guys, your future starts here. Start here, transfer anywhere. This is our visit day, specifically designed for those who may be thinking of transferring from NICC to a four-year. But before we get into that, just wanted to go over a couple general housekeeping tips. If you do have a question, please feel free to use the Zoom chat box. It's, as you can see, it'll be on the bottom right of your toolbar there. And Bailey will be working the chat box, and we'll also come together at the end as well to talk about those things as well. So the agenda for today, as you can see, it's going to be a lot of general information about NICC and the admissions process, but also with Jennifer being here, we're going to dive into some of her insights on the transfer process and some things to think about as she works with students day in and day out going through that pathway. So, and then at the end, we'll do any question you guys might have, and then we'll do a wrap up and the survey that Bailey provided in the chat box as well. So just to start, guys, just the facts. NICC is a community college in Northeast Iowa. We're one of 15 community colleges in the state. We jumped into the game pretty early. 1966 was when NICC was founded in Kelmer, Iowa. From there, from a start of 12 programs, we've grown into a college that offers over 70 programs, lasting anywhere from a few months to a little over 2 years. Many of our programs are focused on certain trades and industries and technical areas, advanced manufacturing, science, technology, engineering, and math, those STEM programs, healthcare, and agriculture and animal sciences. But we do have quite a few students that come to NICC for our transfer programs as well. So we'll talk about that more in a little bit. We've grown not only in scale of programs, but also in locations where we have a presence. We are located in Kelmer, our main campus. We also have a sister campus in Peosta, Iowa, which is near Dubuque. Along with those main campuses, we have centers located in Cresco, Dubuque, Manchester, New Hampton, Owine, and Waukon. So at those center locations, you're able to meet with enrollment advisors, do placement testing, take classes, credit classes, as well as some non-credit life and leisure classes as well. So we've really grown from that Kelmer location to include a lot of other areas. We also have grown in the way in which we offer our classes. In 1966, you kind of had to be in Kelmer face-to-face in a classroom, probably all the way through 86, 96, into 2006. So now we have a lot of online options that are really flexible in, that you can do them from home. We have face-to-face and hybrid as well. So maybe one day a week you come to campus, but the rest of your time is online. So I'm kind of that hybrid method there. So we have online classes that are the traditional 16 weeks, the traditional semester long. We also have online courses that are only 8 weeks, 10 weeks. including our Z course, which stands for Zero Textbook. Those are online, 8 weeks, and as I said, no textbook costs. So, and a lot of our transfer students take advantage of the Z course in particular, but also the online option, as many of our transfer students are working maybe multiple jobs, maybe raising children. So the big idea is that NICC strives each day to meet all of our students where they're at. Guys, this is just a visual representation of the NICC district. You can see the 4-state outline on the left with Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Illinois. And you can see our main campuses with the yellow dots. Kelmer in the northwest, and then Piasta in the southeast. And then all of those centers I mentioned, they're kind of satellite around the two main campuses there. On the right, you'll see kind of zoomed in on that specific part of Northeast Iowa. So you can see the counties in which we serve students, in which students live in those counties, all the way from Northwest, Mitchell and Howard and Chickasaw, down to Delaware and Dubuque in the south. So about 5,000 square miles of district. So what is a community college? Well, it is a opportunity for students to take coursework that is 2 years or less. They can earn a variety of degrees. From left to right there on your screen, the Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Associate of Applied Science. Those are your 2-year programs at NICC. Alongside them, you have our programs, which are about a year, and our certificate 6 months or less, and they're geared to position to get directly, or they can do further education, complete 2-year degrees. So a community college is a place that is close to home, it is affordable, it is rigorous, but it has a lot of support services to help students along the way. Class sizes are small, as we'll talk about in a little bit as well. So there's a lot of one-on-one individual attention. And everything is student and industry driven for our region too. So it's very relevant and very rigorous, but with supports to help out. The public and private 4 years, which a lot of our students will transfer to after being with us for a semester or 2 years, are going to be larger ponds, so to speak. They're going to be in larger cities. They're going to be they're going to have larger class sizes. They're going to offer programs that are 4 years or greater. So bachelor's degree, a 4-year degree or higher. A lot of our programs are designed to feed into those programs. And in many cases, we have agreements and we have things written up just to make sure that our students are being served at the 4-year after they leave NICC. So public 4 years, that's your what is called Regent University here in Iowa. So the University of Iowa, Iowa State University, and the University of Northern Iowa in Cedar Falls. The private schools, they're going to be stretching all corners of the state, but the ones that come to mind, close proximity to us, are Luther College, Upper Iowa University, University of Dubuque, Loras College, and Clark College. Those are all 4-year private schools that are close to NICC and that many of our students end up transferring to complete 4-year bachelor programs. So there's a lot of differences between public and private 4-year schools and community colleges, in addition to what I've said. Some people prefer to start at a community college and transfer to the 4-year. Others choose to start directly at a 4-year, and others choose to start and finish at a community college. It really comes down to the education they need and what's offered at which school. And we feel that with the 70 programs that we have at NICC, we can help students who are looking to get a nursing degree, get an electrician degree, and begin working right away. But we also work with students who are looking to take nursing classes and then transfer to a 4-year to get their bachelor's of science in nursing, or students who come to NICC to get their general credits and then transfer to a 4-year as well. So just some differences there. So at NICC, we have three kind of major pathways that students fall into, and it's all based around their goal. Some students want to come to NICC, take a program, and then enter directly into the workforce with employment. So in 2 years or less, they're starting their career, a career that is in demand and high wage as well. Because of that, we work closely with local employers to ensure that the training we're giving meets and exceeds industry standards and demands. We also work with our career services team to make sure that we're connecting students with employment opportunities, because in many cases, our students are, they've obtained employment before they've graduated with our program because of the help of their training, their instructors, and our career services team, as well as their advisors. So it's a partnership between all of those entities to make sure the students are moving forward with their goal of entering employment. Some of our students come, they're undecided. So they know that they want to further their education. They want to take some classes to increase their knowledge or to set themselves up to pursue a career that they may not know what it is now, but they know they want to be working towards something. So they come in as undecided. A lot of these undecided folks will then filter into the employment programs, like I talked about to start this slide, but many of them also choose to do the transfer route. So they'll start taking general education classes that might materialize into an Associate of Arts or Associate of Science transfer program, and then they'll go to a 4-year. So our undecided students get a lot of assistance from our career services team as well in researching, what are the majors offered at NICC? What are the majors offered at the 4 years? And most importantly, what do you see yourself doing, and what type of education does it take? And then what school has what you need? So, but a large majority of our students, they do the transfer track. So they're matched up, as well as all of our students are, excuse me, with a personal advisor who works closely with them to create an academic plan to make sure that they're taking the courses in the right sequence, with the right course load for each individual student to make sure they're successful so they can meet their academic goals. As I said, we have many partnerships with 4-year colleges to ensure that the classes taken transfer seamlessly, so students aren't retaking classes if they don't have to shorten up the time and the cost of their education. And the really nice piece is that students can graduate from NICC and transfer an Associate of Arts or Associate of Science degree, and then they're starting as a junior after 2 years of school with NICC. They're right along with their peers who may have started at a 4-year. They're starting as a junior to take their major coursework at the 4-year of their choice. So, but one thing we really pride ourselves in is that as it shows on the screen, that 96% of our students are either continuing their education or they're employed 1 year after graduation. So there's a lot of things to consider specifically for the transfer students, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So we're going to kind of take a dive into some facts to consider, some things to think about for those who may want to start at NICC and then attend a 4-year school. So with that, with the help of Jennifer, we're going to highlight some things here that the people should be thinking about, starting with, the transferability of the coursework. What is the difference between individual classes and completing an actual degree with us and taking that to a 4-year? So with that, I'm just going to open the door to Jennifer Wood for her insights.
Thanks, Josh. So as we look at these things to consider when transferring, like Josh mentioned, we do have Associates of Arts and Associates of Science programs. Those programs are both 60 credits to complete the entire program. Both of them are transfer degrees, meaning the intention of those degrees is to get some of those general education requirements out of the way before transferring on to a 4-year college. The difference between an Associates of Arts and Associates of Science is An Associates of Science degree is more heavy on science and math courses. So a student who plans to transfer on for a math or science related field at a four-year college, an Associates of Science would likely be their best option. So programs like biology, engineering, mathematics, those kind of programs at the four-year college. Associates of Arts would have more credits in the humanities and social sciences. So most programs would fall under the Associate of Arts, thinking things like psychology, sociology, social work, education, those kind of programs. Not everybody would benefit from getting the entire Associates of Arts or Associates of Science program. So sometimes it may actually be better to transfer before completing the whole 60 credits. Either one is an option. So some students come and they will take maybe 30 credits and then transfer on. But many do complete the entire 60 credit associate's degree. Another thing to consider is the course delivery method. So we do offer a variety of teaching delivery methods at NIACC. There's face-to-face options, there's completely online, and then there's the hybrid that gives you a little taste of face-to-face, but then also supplements some of that with online learning. The Associates of Arts degree can be done completely face-to-face, it can be done completely online. Many of our classes are offered both formats. Some are only offered face-to-face, some are only offered online. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing to consider is GPA. NIACC does have an honor society called PTK. PTK is a nationwide honor society for community colleges. So students at NIACC that have a GPA of 3.5 or higher will get an invitation to join PTK. The benefit of joining PTK is scholarship opportunities. There are lots of scholarship opportunities for both students while they're still at the community college, as well as when they transfer on to their bachelor's programs at their four-year colleges. So it's really important when you are picking out a load for classes and thinking about the number of classes you want to take, to think about success in those classes, because GPA is, keeping a high GPA will be really important when you're transferring on. Another consideration is how to choose a transfer college. So this is a consideration that a lot of students think about. Whether or not they want to stay close to home, whether or not they want to go to a public school or a private school. Does the college that they're looking at have the program that they want to study? So all those things are important when you choose a transfer college. Not every four-year college has every program that a student may be interested in. So knowing what they want to go for is important before they're choosing that college. Cost savings and scholarships for community college. NIACC pays the students pay tuition by credit, which means you only pay for the classes that you're taking. So if you take one class at a time, you're going to pay for one class at a time. It doesn't cost any more if it takes you an extra semester to finish classes, because you are paying it by the class, not by the semester. And it does come to a pretty significant savings. Community colleges do cost quite a bit less than the four-year private or public colleges. And then I think we did talk about the difference between Associates of Arts and Associates of Science. Just basically the emphasis on math and science for Associates of Science, and then more of the arts and humanities under Associates of Arts. So then these are our transfer programs. Like I mentioned, we have Associates of Arts and Associates of Science. In addition to those, we have specific transfer programs. So under the Associates of Arts, you see the business, criminal justice, elementary ed, psychology, secondary ed, and sociology transfer. And then under the Associate of Science, the ag business, agricultural education, agronomy, biology, and mathematics. These transfer programs were created in partnership between all the community colleges in Iowa and the Regent colleges in Iowa. So what that means is these programs transfer seamlessly into those 3 Regent colleges. That doesn't mean if you're not going to a Regent college that these are not an option. It's just the intention of these programs is to transfer from the community college to the state institutions. So one of the conversations before you pick a program with your advisor is what college you want to transfer to and what program you want to transfer into. And then they would help you make the decision whether, for instance, a business transfer degree or a general AA degree would be in your best interest to transfer on to that next college.
Absolutely. And then Jennifer, would you mind kind of highlighting, I know you had a hand in and inputting some of these online resources that students can take a look at.
Sure. So when determining whether classes transfer from NIACC to other colleges, here are some good online resources. When you work with your advisor, one of the things that we always think about is whether these classes are going to transfer to where you want to go. So we do have on the NIACC transfer page, you can look to see how classes transfer to our out to the other colleges. There's the transfer plans available there. That also discusses how courses transfer into NIACC because oftentimes we do have students that have courses that they've taken other places and they're transferring back in. Career Services has a page for undecided students. This is a fantastic resource to help students figure out what they want that career path to look like based on their interests and their skills. Transferiniowa.com shows how courses transfer to those Regent colleges, and then many of the colleges in the area use Transferology. That's a pretty easy resource to just transfer in courses that you've taken at NIACC, and it will show you what colleges accept those courses and how they transfer in. So those are very useful tools to figure out how your classes that you take at NIACC can be applied to those other colleges.
Awesome, thank you very much. Good thoughts. And I know you'll be joining us at the end as well, too. So those are all good things to be thinking about. Guys, at NIACC, it's all about education with a purpose. We want you to finish in the amount of time that is right for your situation. So in the program that is right for you. As Jennifer mentioned, you know, even within that, all of those transfer options, we want to make sure that we're helping you get in the best one that's going to set yourself up for success at the 4 years. So is it the General Associate of Arts or might it be one of the other particular AA transfer options? So we just want to make sure you're prepared to transfer and complete a 4-year degree while at the same time getting the technical hands-on training that you need to start your career as soon as possible. A couple more facts about NIACC, as we talked a little bit about earlier, is that our class sizes are small, on the smaller side. The average for this school year is 14 students for each instructor in the classroom. So because of that, you're not just a number. Our instructors actually get to know you and they look out for you. So, you know, if your grades are dipping or you're not attending, we're not going to let you fall through the cracks here. We're going to make sure that we're here to support you. And on the flip side, we're going to be ready when you need to talk to us. So, you know, after class is over, you can talk to your instructor right away. You don't have to wait for office hours. It really is personal that way. 6,045 students between our high school students and our credit students at all of our campuses and centers. We have about 6,000 students, so you're going to meet new people along the way in the classroom and also with some of our student life activities and in the cafeteria, things like that. So, the class sizes are small, but with that said, there's still a lot of students buzzing around, and you're going to meet some people. The support that we offer at NICC is another one of those pillars that make us a great choice for folks. As Jennifer said, we're a per credit institution, so we don't charge you for we don't just have a price for each semester you're here, and then so when you do go beyond 2 years, you're paying extra. Like she said, you're not doing that here. We also don't nickel and dime you for services. So in that sense, all of the academic advising, the career services Jennifer talked about, those are no additional cost to you, but they're here from day one to graduation and beyond. We have full-time mental health counselors in Kelmer and in Piasta to meet with students confidentially to talk through issues related to the classroom and also in personal life. So that's accessible and affordable, and that's not always the case for folks to have that counseling help. Accommodations and disability services, we have folks on campus that their job is to connect with students who may have had extra accommodations in high school or at previous institutions. Maybe they have documented learning plans that show that they need extra time to test or a quiet space. So we have folks that will connect with the instructors and the students to make sure that students get the accommodations they deserve. And last but not least, we have a tutoring center, a learning center located at multiple campuses that help students with homework needs, study needs, test prep. So we have a learning and a writing center to help students who may need extra help on math or writing a paper or studying for an anatomy test and things like that. So those learning centers are free. They're not necessarily by appointment. You can walk in when they're open, and there's people eager to help students out. With that said, the college experience is more than the classroom. It's more than the lectures and the labs and the quizzes and the tests. It's about the people that you meet, the ways that you grow out of the classroom as well, the experiences that you have. So as you can see on this screen, pictures to the left and examples to the right, there's a lot going on at NICC throughout the year, through all seasons. There's a lot of opportunities where students can get involved and compete. Athletics, we have a sports shooting team, which is trap shooting for those of you who may have participated in high school, shooting those clay pigeons. We have a co-ed team that competes fall and spring. We're looking to maybe expand on some of those offerings for the collegiate sports, but as of now, our sports shooting team is what we have available. But we do have a lot of intramurals. We partner with the University of Dubuque. We partner with Upper Iowa in the north end of the district, just to give students options to exercise and to play sport. We bring in a lot of entertainers. The students have a lot of voice on who we bring in. We have a group on campus called Impact, which is made up of student leaders who, in some cases, they're paid work study positions. In some cases, they're just volunteering with Impact to bring about entertainers to campus. So, musicians, magicians, mentalists, exotic animals, all those type of things are brought in to kind of add some variety to the college experience, to allow students to participate in other ways. We do provide housing assistance to students. A lot of our students commute from home. A lot live within an hour's drive from home, but many come from further than that, and others just are looking to gain some independence, just move out of the house and such. So we offer housing assistance. We have on our website and in our student life offices and with our student services team, we have a list of landlords and contact information for rental properties. Some are exclusively NICC students. Others are just a particular house in a community in Kelmer, in Piasta, or surrounding those campuses as well. So we do know that it's a huge piece of your education is, where are you going to live and how much is it going to cost? And can I bring my dog? Can I bring my cat? So we're going to help you figure those things out before classes start to make sure you're set up that way. We have a service trip each spring where students can meet fellow students from both campuses and travel to Phoenix, Arizona, Nashville, Tennessee, San Francisco, Boston, Denver, and do some good work for a week while also exploring together a city and its culture. So there's a lot of opportunities here. We have a phenomenal student life director at our Piasta campus who has a knack for just building relationships with students and partnering with students to bring in some of these entertainments. Because like I said when we started this slide, and as you know, college is more than the classes that you take. A couple thoughts on paying for school, on financial considerations is we are affordable. It's one of our other pillars is that we're accessible and we're affordable with relevant education. So as you can see on the right, for this school year, our tuition and fees are $198 for in-state students and $222 for out-of-state. And for any international students tuning in, it's $237 for you guys. So, which is still, no matter which category you fall into, it's very affordable, and you're only paying for the classes you're taking. There's not a crazy amount of student fees. You're not charged for the Learning Center. You're not charged for parking, for application, for placement testing, graduation. There are no graduation costs. As I said, the accommodations and the tutoring. So our cost is a little over $5,000 per year for students to enroll as a credit student with NIACC, which, as you can see on the screen, is much lower than Iowa public colleges and much, much lower than the private college options. And with that said, we still offer scholarships. We still award quite a bit of financial aid opportunities to students, and we have many state grants that help out as well to bring that 5,000 down even further. So you're not going to see the high student loans at a community college as you may at a 4-year and beyond. So with that said, some things to think about is first and foremost, if you're looking to get some assistance paying for education, whether it be with Northeast Iowa Community College or another school, is you're going to want to complete your FAFSA, your free application for federal student aid. It opens up annually, October 1st, prior to the next school year. And it's something that is your ticket to scholarship, to grants, and to loans. So grants are essentially free money that you don't have to pay back. They're awarded based on program, based on, and in some cases, financial need. And they're a great option to take advantage of because, as I said, you don't have to pay those back. And there's also scholarship opportunities with the FAFSA. So the deadline for FAFSA and for Iowa state grants, you're looking at July 1st prior to the fall. So for this upcoming fall, 2020, you're going to want to have your FAFSA completed by July 1st to make sure that you're getting in on the grants, the student loans, and something called Last Dollar Scholarship, which we're going to be talking about tomorrow, which is a state of Iowa grant that'll pay for all of tuition and fees for certain academic programs. Well over a quarter of all of NICC programs qualify for that. So I would tune in on Wednesdays to get more knowledge about that. Our NICC Foundation Scholarship application is online on our website. It's really easy to fill out, doesn't take a ton of time, but still allows you to tell your story and why a scholarship would be meaningful for you. The priority deadline is April 1st. Today is April 14th. If you haven't filled it out, I encourage you to fill it out. It's not too late. It's reviewed multiple times a year. The priority deadline is April 1st, but that doesn't mean that you're going to miss out on a chance to get a scholarship. So please go onto our NICC website to our financial aid page, and you can find that Google form and complete that there. And as you can see, there's many different options between the grants that is free money, so to speak, the scholarships as well, and those student loans if you may need to help with the cost of attendance beyond tuition and fees. And then there's work study opportunities as well by completing that FAFSA. So as you can see on the bottom of the screen, quite a bit of dollars are awarded each year, and quite a few of our students, 70%, receive financial aid. So it's definitely something to consider. And we have staff in Dubuque, Piasta, Kelmer, our centers that are experts with financial aid process. They can walk you through the FAFSA application, and they can help you all along the way to make sure that you're paying as little as possible for great education with NICC. So with all of that said, this screen is just kind of taking us to the 6 big picture enrollment steps. If you're interested in NICC, even if you're maybe not completely decided, but you're strongly considering us, I would encourage you to do step 1 and apply online. There's no cost to apply. Applying doesn't tie you down in any way to ultimately attend NICC, though we hope you do. It just allows us to get the ball rolling. It allows you to complete some of the other enrollment steps. And in some cases, it allows you to be ahead of others if any of our programs may have a waiting list. Some of our programs are limited capacity, so only a certain number of students can attend each year and get in. And your application date can factor in on where you stand on that wait list. So it's never a bad idea to apply if you're strongly considering being an NICC student. Alongside the application, as I just said in the previous slide, submitting your FAFSA and applying for scholarships is something that you're going to want to be doing early through the process. That's why it's our second step. Along with that is we want to know your educational past. We want to know how you did in high school, what classes you took. We want to know if you attended another school, another college before you've come to us. We want to see those transcripts. So by sending us your transcripts, like I said, it gives us that big picture of what you've done prior. And in many cases, it will waive classes that you may have to take. You may have already taken them. So, and placement tests that you'll have to do for step 4, you may not need to do them because your transcripts have shown that you've already met those standards. Which brings me to step 4, which is scheduling and completing placement assessments. We're not an institution where you need to score a certain ACT score to get in, but with that said, everyone who applies gets in. But with that said, we want to make sure that we're accurately placing you in classes at the right times to make sure that we're setting you up to succeed. So these placement tests give us a baseline, a measurement of where you're at, and they allow us to help with the planning and advising process with your classes. So during this COVID-19 time, students aren't able to come to campus and do the placement testing as they normally would, as they will again soon. But we're being nimble at NICC, and we're allowing students to do some of these placement tests online. And if you're interested in that, please shoot myself an email, and I can connect the dots with you there if you're looking to do placement assessments. Beyond that, after you've applied, you've done your financial aid stuff, you've sent your transcripts, you've taken the assessments you need, Then it's time to schedule a meeting with your advisor and register for the classes that you want in the program you're excited about. So, and then beyond that, it's just paying tuition, heading to class, and getting going on your college life. So we try to make it simple, but we also want to make sure that we're checking all the boxes we need to make sure that you're successful at your time here with us at NIACC. You know, with that said, we're really glad that you joined us today. We hope that you can join us again soon on campus, back on campus when all of this COVID-19 is over, so you can meet some of our students. You can meet myself and Jennifer and Bailey face to face. You can meet with our instructors and tour the lab space and look at the learning areas for the programs that you're interested in. You can look at the simulation labs, and you can look at, you know, just where our students are learning and why they're excited to be there. And just to give you a tour of campus and to answer any questions you have face to face as well. So we hope that you come back and that this visit is not the last time we see and hear from you guys. We do have an opportunity now to answer any questions you might have. There's also a link to the survey in the chat box as well. So with that said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can all come back together and answer any questions that we might have and go from there. Bailey, were there any questions in the chat box?
Nope, as of right now, there are no questions in the chat box. I have provided the link to the survey, so please feel free to take a few moments, click that link and take that survey. We want your feedback. It's very much so appreciated and encouraged. And you will also be getting a free t-shirt, a free NIACC t-shirt if you do fill it out. So if there aren't any questions, feel free to leave the presentation and have a great week, everybody.